So as far as learning objectives, the training is going to show people how to develop a proactive storm planning effort, right? By leveraging data and technology to provide a common picture, right? That aligns your team, builds confidence in the process, and improves overall messaging, which I know you're big on the messaging component like this. So let me drill into this for just a minute. Proactive storm planning. What does that mean?
It means that whatever I ultimately get hit with, I had some clue that it was coming, and I had done something to prepare for it. So I'm not just waiting for it. I'm not waiting for it to hit and saying, okay, it's hit. Now what do I need to do? Where do I need to send people? How many people do I need? Where are they? It's being proactive. It's having the right people, the right resources in the right place so that you can accelerate your restoration.
Got it. And so part of this is we'll be able to provide a checklist, okay, or tools, right, that people can use to customize that to their industry, right? Certainly electric is one, but we want to be able to provide that as well. And you've already spoken to kind of alignment, right? I think your analogy for the rowing team is a great one, because we've all been part of canoes where everybody's doing their own thing. They don't go much but spin around, right? Let me zero in on messaging, right? You've always talked messaging about this. So what types of things are people going to learn about messaging? Why it's important to you first, and then what are some of the examples of messaging?
Well, that's a great question. The importance of communications is it can't be understated. Overstated. I mean, just it's so important. It helps people understand, what they're about to go through. It lets them know what you're doing to minimize or mitigate that event. But it gives them a realistic picture of what does it mean to me? What do I need to do to be prepared? And it builds that confidence. It builds a coordination that it gives them the opportunity to ask questions. It gives them the opportunity to say, hey, if this is going to impact me this way, did you know that? And it allows you to work together with your key stakeholders to understand, so that when you're building your restoration and response plans, that you're doing it in such a manner that you're not putting the roof on the house before the walls are up, right? You got to start with the foundation, and you got to work your way until you put that final nail in the wall to hang a picture on and say, okay, my house is done. So you can't do that if you don't know the plumber, if you don't know the electrician, if you don't know the carpet people. You got to know all those people. You got to know what they need to be successful, and you got to tell them what you're going to do that. So you're the big project manager. So that's the importance of the communications piece, so that the plumber doesn't show up before the walls are in, right? So that the electrician doesn't show up before you got studs up there and for them something to run the wire too. So that communication strategy allows people to understand what's going to happen, what's happening, and what you're doing about it.
And what are some specific examples of messaging, right? And meaning, give what didn't work, okay, and then an example maybe or two of what did work.
I'll give you the probably the one that hits the closest to heart. So for every electric utility, you've got folks that are on your system that are 100% dependent upon electricity to live, right? They're on oxygen. They're on some type of mechanical ventilator or something that requires electricity. No electric utility can guarantee 100% reliability. So having visibility of who those customers are, and knowing what geographic areas might be hit by an event that might be intrusive or for them life-threatening, having this information now, you can send proactive messaging to those customers and say, hey, we've got this event coming. It looks like it's going to hit your area. You may have power outages. Some of them might be extended. So you need to start taking action and do what you need to do to make sure that you are safe. So that means getting a generator. That means going somewhere outside of the danger zone so that you'll have that power, or going into an assisted living, whatever that means to that person, they can take that action. without that communications, they're sitting there, and next thing you know, the lights are going on. Now they are reacting. Now they're in a reactive mode, and for them, it's not, it's life or death. So that's a real time communication process that's important. That stresses the importance of communications.
Right. Very good.
Hey, Dave, John Molnar here. One of the questions that I had was that you talk about the tools in the toolkit in this training and learning objectives. Will a lot of the companies that we know that are in this mix here do not have two meteorologists at their sides to help them in this guide path, to get some of this information. Will you help with some of these tools and toolkits that I'll be able to look at and see and be able to see what options I have to utilize some of these, or do I have to build all this from scratch?
There are several different companies out there, John, that can provide this for you if you don't have the resources internally to do it. You might not all be, an IOU and have, meteorologists on your staff, but there are companies out there. IBM is one that comes to mind that can help with that. That can help you with that big data piece of it. It all depends on what resources that you do have at your hand and what degree of help that you need. But absolutely, no, you don't have to hire, a department of folks to build this for you if that's not in your organization structure today.